Grochowskis.
Hi, I'm Amanda Fierst.
And I'm Andy Dummer. In this broadcast, we're taking a look at a Mehlville student who tackled a major challenge, one who challenges opponents and players with a big goal.
For our first story, Mehlville Media takes a look at the morning rush.
Think you're a safe driver? Think again. Many Mehlville students have found themselves accident-prone here on Lime on their way to school. Jake Guerin and I have the story.
The car accidents a little bit increased this year from last year, and I think part of it is due to more drivers. The transportation was cut for some of the residents and the students, so more people are driving.
So we've had a few minor fender benders in the morning during drop-off right out in front of school on Lime Ferry. Mainly it's just been somebody rear-ending the person in front of them. Luckily they've been pretty minor at this point.
I have investigated 2 separate reports on different days, but they were exactly the same cause. They were rear-end collisions where a person's falling too close and the inattention, the driver not paying attention to the car that's going to stop short in front of them.
I guess like the people who are turning in, sometimes they turn in when they're not supposed to, and so it could cause an accident there. And also when the light turns red and people are halfway through the intersection.
You know, since there's so many people trying to rush to get to school on time, there's a lot of stop and go traffic. A lot of people are trying to turn left into it, and then people are trying to turn right. So it's a lot of confusion, like should I go, should I not? So a lot of people like accelerate really fast and then change their mind at the last minute and stop.
I think the biggest thing is just to try to be aware of what's going on around you and paying attention to your surroundings. And like I said before, that line that gets long, making sure you're paying attention. If it's backed up, maybe even all the way to that south entrance, making sure that you're ready to slow down as that line gets longer.
Really, especially when you're traveling at higher speeds, you're covering a great distance. And you don't realize it. You're like, I have it in control, and then when you have to do some emergency driving, your room is less because you're in front of the vehicle or an object, and you have to swerve, and hopefully you would not injure yourself or somebody walking to school.
Up next, Nick Wagner and Amila Basic take a look at a change that happened in the Jack Jordan Stadium.
We moved the green pit because some of the coaches, the cheerleading coaches and leadership and others had said, let's try to get a better unity, more unity of the student body out there. So we moved them to put them together and increase our sound. And according to not only parents and students and the football players and the coaches, everybody's been pretty happy with it.
Yeah, it's definitely added a lot to what we can do. There's a lot more flexibility, and it gets everybody pumped up when the band's playing and we're cheering at the same time.
I'm trying to organize like a meeting between the Green Pit leaders and some of the leaders of band to try to like cooperate in making like some chant music things that we can do together.
I was a little confused on why we got moved and not the band, because I felt like we had a pretty good spot going down at the end, but I can see where Swanger wants to go with having one student body.
The band stays there because we have an electrical outlet and because of all the equipment that gets moved out. So it was just easier to move student bodies than move all the equipment. Kids seem to be really excited about it, and the noise level's been phenomenal.
Yeah! From the green pit to the field, Josh Hanley tells us the story of a top running back and his inspiration.
I started playing football at the age of 7, so it's been 9 years. So when we started playing football, it was my cousin and my family, because they always play football, and I started to play football. My coaches pushed me hard in practice, and the teammates just make me work harder.
I'm very proud of Jabbar, very proud of Jabbar. I'm very proud and very happy to have Jabbar as a son, and yeah, I'm very, 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 very proud of him.
My parents support me by taking me to the gym, working out with me, and come to all my games. My coaches inspired me to play. My family inspired me to play.
I do a lot of different things to help keep me motivated. I do my part. We go to the gym together. I push him at the gym. I always push positive aspirations to him, affirmations to him, sharing quotes with him from other athletes who have been successful.
Got space to put a 5-10 down. It just happened because my line was on point that day. My thought process was to do the best I can and get a W.
I was very, 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 very excited for him. I felt a lot of joy for him, and I felt he really needed that. The team needed that, and I was very, 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 very happy for him.
My hopes for the future is to get college offers by the end of junior year.
I wish for him to be very successful, both athletically and academically. I really hope that he finishes out this high school year very good, and I'm hoping for him to continue to go to college and maybe even go to the pros one day.
I love football because I just love the game. I like the concept and scoring TDs.
I just want to tell Jabbar to never give up, to always work for his dreams, and just keep pushing forward, never give up.
In our next story, Brianna Tate and Stephen Verhorst keep us on the field for a team that is ruling the turf.
Last year, Coach Harper took varsity soccer to the Final Four. This year, the team hopes to replicate that success.
We're here to win, so this is a group that works really hard to get what they get.
I think our team will compete at a high level, and we can compete against any team.
We're off to a good start this season. It's going to be tough. We play a pretty tough schedule. We'd compare it to anybody that we've got on our schedule in terms of difficulty, but the key is going to be to stay healthy and stay with the game plan. The biggest challenges are our youth and our inexperience. As we get more games, those things will come around.
We've performed really well, and we've had our lows at times, but right now we're doing really well.
Jacob Richter up top is probably our primary goal scorer.
My main motivation is to score goals and hopefully get a college scholarship.
They want the challenge. They meet challenges and accept challenges, and they're not afraid of anybody.
Expectations for this year is to hopefully win districts and advance to the Final Four.
You know, it's hard to compare because different players, different year. So we don't really try and compare what we did last year to this year. It's just same goal, win and win as much as we can.
We wish the boys luck for the rest of their season.
Cross country is also in season.
And for one runner, success began this summer.
On the other side of the world.
So this summer I took a trip to Australia. I got invited to represent Missouri in the Golden Games, and it was probably one of the best experiences I've ever had. I did pretty good. There was 2 races. There was a 5K All-American race, and then there was a 7.5K, which was all the runners all around the world who met in Australia to do this race. So in the 5K All-American K, I got 3rd place. And in the 7.5K with the runners from all around, I think I got 63rd. There were like over 4,000 people in that race though, so I was pretty proud of that.
She was a little disappointed with her first race, but I thought she did phenomenal. She was a little ill the day before. She had gotten a stomach flu a little bit, but so I thought she did awesome considering that we had just traveled all this way, and she's a go girl. So she was definitely pushing to go on this trip. She really wanted it. So.
Many students have unique hobbies. This next student competes in an activity that teens may remember from their childhood.
Emma Valerie and Ben Hughes have the story.
Here at Mehlville, a lot of people spend their free time with work or other extracurricular activities, but one student spends his time practicing a unique hobby. Zach Martin competes in Pokemon tournaments across St. Louis and has even participated in regional, state, and national tournaments.
So beforehand, I'd practice and I'd set up my deck and all that and try and guess what everyone else is playing and play the thing that beats all that. And at a tournament I'll go and they'll tell you how many people there are, how many rounds you have to play, and then you play your person and then you just keep going, and if you do well then you cut, and then you play in a bracketed seed, and that's how you determine who's the winner. When I first picked up the game, I never really thought of it as being anything super competitive. I just thought it was a cool little thing with cool pictures and whatnot. But then I learned that there were actually like leagues, or you could like play casually, and like I learned how to play the game there. And then I slowly like learned that there were tournaments.
If he wins big tournaments, he can win scholarships, like $5,000 scholarships, and you can win money on this, side. It's fun. You meet a lot of people, you travel to a lot of places, and just have a good time.
Every year, 8th graders transition to freshmen.
This year, one adult made the jump from middle school to high school.
Juliana Pantano and I have the story.
Over the past few weeks, many of you have probably noticed there's a new man on campus.
Before I came here, I was 8th grade science teacher at Oakville Middle School. I did that for 12 years, and then I just got this job and trying to transition to the high school kids. And it's been really quick, really fast, and everything's moving way fast, but I love the adjustment. I was in a middle school, so it's sort of a transition to come here, but I love the fact that it's constantly moving. I'm constantly I can't spend too long on anything because I'm always moving on to something else. So I've been very impressed with the behavior of kids. I've been impressed with the school spirit. The thing that I'm most impressed with is when we have big events. The pep rally. I was like, we have 1,800 kids, and they're all going to behave. I don't believe that's going to happen. And everybody was awesome. It was really cool. It was well choreographed and well played out, and the kids all got into it. So the football games have been cool. The soccer games have been cool. I was blown away by homecoming about how well everybody was behaved and how much everybody had just a ton of fun. So the big events have been, just really cool for me to see. Getting to talk to mature kids that are ready for going to college and ready for the rest of their life is really cool.
Photographer Andy Denmark, this is reporter Juliana Pantano with Mehlville Today.
Mr. Razika isn't the only one new to the staff here at MHS.
The library also has a familiar face.
Mehlville's newest librarian is a familiar face for many students. Since moving from the classroom to the library, she has come to love working with students in a different way.
This is my 21st year in the Mehlville School District, so I love the district, and I had been a teacher for almost 20 years in the classroom at Washington Middle School, so I decided a change would be really cool, and the opportunity became available to be a librarian, and I love to be around literature, and so it just made sense to move into the library, so I had the opportunity to be a librarian here on A days and Oakville on B days, so I jumped at the chance and I got the job.
Miss Figler has also brought something unique to the library, reading count selfies.
The reading count selfies, we're really trying to push the reading counts. The library, we're trying to have a big party, a big bash, if you will, for kids that read 100 points of reading counts points, because independent reading is so critical for kids. It shows academic successes when kids are independent readers all the time, and so that can help with ACT, SAT, and just in life in general. So we're really pushing the reading counts program because that's just a good independent measure for us. That's a tool for us to look at if kids are reading independently. And so we snatched up some kids. I knew some kids from Washington, so I said, hey, did you read anything over the summer? Was it reading counts? And so we just thought the reading count selfies were kind of cool. Kids love themselves and love taking selfies, so took a picture with their books, and just to promote that whole, we can still read and it's still okay in the high schools.
For many students, hands-on learning keeps them engaged in school.
The CBVI class is no exception.
In this next story, Danny Bitter and Lindy Wagner follow some students who are delivering coffee
and smiles.
You may have seen a few of your peers in the hallways selling coffee in the mornings, but have you ever asked yourself, what are they getting out of this?
CBVI stands for Community-Based Vocational Instruction. We work on teaching students job skills.
This job skill education starts early in the middle schools and then transitions into the high schools. A 50-cent styrofoam cup of coffee can make the day of not only you, but one of your peers, as opposed to this $4 cup of coffee.
My favorite thing is getting to talk with the students and see them and just have a conversation with them, see how their days are going, and just have the opportunity to talk with them each day and see their smiles, and just think it's a great opportunity to interact with them.
I usually get coffee every day, and I usually get a variety of snacks, their breakfast bars, their granola bars, their cheese, their sausage.
Coffee cart is one of the jobs that lets our students get out of the classroom.
Next, we have a story on a Mehlville senior who battled cancer and won.
We'd like to thank the Grochowskis family for sharing their story.
For the past 2 years, senior Eddie Grochowski has started at center for the varsity football team and has been fighting hard every Friday night. Yet just a few years ago, Grochowski fought his toughest battle, and it wasn't on the football field.
I was diagnosed with leukemia, ALL, T-cell.
T-cell leukemia is a disease in which certain cells of the lymphoid system called T lymphocytes are cancerous.
I'm pretty sure I was like 12 or 10, I don't know, and kind of didn't really know what was going on. Doctor came in and told me that I had leukemia, and I was kind of, what's that? And kind of explained to me better, but I still didn't really know what was going to happen.
We were out with friends one evening, and I had taken Eddie to the doctor to see some kind of skin rash that he had. Didn't think much of it, actually. And then while we were with friends and stuff, I received a phone call. Called the doctor back, and they said to get to the hospital immediately. He had to be put into ICU right away. It was just basically like a dream. It wasn't even real.
I received all kinds of treatment, mainly chemotherapy, but I also went through radiation. Other than that, it's just like physical therapy to get my muscles back, occupational therapy.
About a month after being diagnosed, Eddie finally entered remission in the winter of 2010.
Well, there's two phases, okay? And the first phase is you're cancer-free, in which you have no cancer cells in your body. And for me, that was about 2 weeks after, and I was in remission. And that's when your body starts to take control back over the cancer cells. And then after that, you keep going through chemotherapy and radiation to ensure that no cancer cells come back. So I had to go through chemotherapy for about 4 years or so, and that really affected me in ways like I didn't really understand why I had to keep doing it even though my cancer cells were gone. But like I understood that I didn't really want it to come back.
At first I didn't believe it because he went into remission very quickly. So I had to have the doctor repeat to me like 3 times that, did you say remission? Did you really say remission? And the doctor says, yes, I said remission. He's in remission.
That time when he was cancer-free, I was 15, maybe 14, and I started to grasp what it really meant, and to understand that he beat it was amazing. And then for him to go play football a year later and still be playing, like, it's incredible to me.
Having cancer really made me look at things and have like step back and say, oh, this is what I had. But other than that, I really don't let it affect my life. I don't let it define me as a person. I don't want other people to look at me and say, oh, that guy had cancer, I'm going to treat him differently. I don't want that. I want to be like a normal kid, a normal teenager, come out and play sports on Friday night, play football with my friends, take part in normal things that a normal kid would do.
As an older brother, you're supposed to teach your younger siblings everything, but sometimes they teach you stuff. And I think my little brother taught me how to be courageous and taught me how to be strong when it really mattered.
Eddie continues his football season against Northwest High School on Friday, October 2nd at 7 p.m.
Football players like Eddie need help each game to make sure they are hydrated and their equipment is ready.
Hannah Blatt and Carly McInnes take a look at the 4 girls who are an important part of the team.
I was in 7th grade because my dad coached the junior Panthers, and so I was just kind of down on the field, and he would like ask me to help, and so then I did that 7th grade and 8th grade year, and then he told me to ask the freshman coach, so I went up to Coach Meyer and I was like, I could be your football manager, and then so it just kind of happened that way. And I'm her younger sister, so I just followed her footsteps.
I didn't want to be a bum my senior year doing nothing, so.
And I know some of the football players, and I knew Emily, and I thought it'd be fun.
Football manager because my mom wouldn't let me play, so I was like, what other ways can I get involved? And like in 8th grade, they came to the school and they were talking about the sports, and I asked about it, and they said I
impacted in a lot of ways. I mean, the managers, they hand out equipment for drills and stuff, they hand out water. I mean, at practice, it can be pretty rigorous and hot, so, you know, the water just helping them for equipment.
Friday nights we make sure that they have everything that they need, like for away games and home games, and make sure that everything's set up down here. And we get all the water bottles and the water and like the footballs, and make sure that everything's just going smoothly on the sidelines.
Friday night lights. Being on the field with boys is so fun.
Being on the sidelines during the games, like whenever they're winning, it's so much fun because like you can feel all the energy from the guys, and like they're all super excited, and it makes you really happy.
Touchdown dance!
You may have seen the new pavilion at Lime.
But you've never seen it like this.
Sarah Grazza and Taylor Durham have the story.
On September 9th, the pavilion at Lime hosted its first annual Pooch Pool Party. All dogs and their owners were invited to visit the new pool and make a splash. Senior lifeguard Molly Gibbs joined the fun with her dog Cookie.
This event was really fun. I had a lot of fun. My dog was really afraid because he's tiny, but it's okay.
Came out today to Pooch's in the pool and had a great time. All in all, I think it went very well. I didn't see any really misbehaving dogs or anything. They were just playing and having fun.
Today we had the Pooch Pool Party where a bunch of dogs got to go swim, and it was pretty fun. Pretty chaotic. Yeah, but overall it was a success.
If you didn't enjoy that, that'd be impossible. That wraps up this edition of Mehlville Today.
Thanks for watching. For more coverage, check out mehlvillemedia.com.